Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Appium Guide. As a part of our Appium 3 beta series, in this video we are going to discuss about the breaking changes part 2. Okay, so as you know, we have some changes applied in the Appium 3 beta version, and already we have discussed about the change number 1, and this is the change number 2. So what exactly change we have in the breaking changes 2? That is the session discovery requires future flag. Okay, so what exactly session discovery we discuss? Okay, so when you read this one, APM 3 makes two changes to the session discovery process. Okay, the get session endpoint is replaced with the get slash apm slash sessions. Okay, and the use of new endpoint requires the session discovery future flag. So what exactly this session discovery flag? Okay, so here the changes it did from get slash sessions, it has replaced with the get app sessions. And if you want to use the session ID in the client, okay, where it may be the client may be the APM inspector or device form. Okay, so there if you want the session ID to be used, we have to start the APM server with this future flag. Okay, that is the session discovery. We had to use the session discovery explicitly. We had to use it to get the session ID to reuse in our clients. That is the APM inspector or device form. Okay, and in this video, I will show the example of the APM inspector how we can able to use this session ID. Okay, so if you want more details on this one, see in APM 2, it was possible to retrieve the active server sessions via get slash sessions endpoint. This information can be used, for example, in APM inspector in order to attach to an existing session instead of creating a new one. Okay, so when you see the APM inspector, so I'll open the APM inspector. So normally, if you want to reuse the session ID, how we can able to use the builder section? We have a tab called attach to session. If you click on this one, when we have an active session, see if we have an already running session, that is active session, the above server type, you can attach an inspector to it directly. So select the session ID in the drop down. So it means that if we have an active, that is already running session, I can see the details in this drop down. Okay, but when you are working with APM 2 and you are starting with the APM server, there is no need to specify any flag. That is a session discovery flag. Okay, automatically it's used to get this session ID in the client, that is the APM inspector. But when you are using APM 3, okay, you need to explicitly start the APM server with the flag called session underscore discovery. So then only the session ID will come in the APM inspector. This is a change we have under the APM 3. Okay, and instead of get session endpoint is replaced with the get APM session. Okay, so main important thing is that to use this new endpoint, you have to start the APM server with the feature flag called session underscore discovery. Then only we get the session ID which can be used in the client in the APM inspector or device form. Here we need to note here, that is to reduce the migration effect, the end APM session endpoint locked behind the aforementioned feature flag is also available in the APM 2.19. Okay, means already, which is the current version of APM is the 2.19. Okay, so it is already implemented the 2.19 to make the migration process simple. Okay, means this mandatory, that is session discovery future flag, is already implemented in 2.19 to have a smoother migration process. Okay, allowing you to adjust your code before upgrading to Appium 3. Has a Appium inspector support for the new endpoint already started from the version 2025.3.1. Means from the Appium, it is already implemented in the 2.19 version, and same from the client, that is the Appium inspector is already implemented in the version 2025.3.1. Okay, so we'll see now. And already I have made a video on the how to use the session ID. Okay, by using the session ID, we are getting the Appium inspector. So about this one, already I have created a video under the Appium concept series, how to fetch use session ID using Appium inspector. Okay, in this one, if you see the screenshot, if you see the video, I paused the video here. I have started the Appium server without any flag, and the version you see 2.5.1. Okay, so in this version, means before 2.19 version, so session discovery feature flag is not required to get the session ID. Then we use session ID. Okay, so it is here, this is in this video, we have used the session ID without using any flag. Okay, this is the Appium 2.x version. Okay, and here I use the Appium 2.5.1. But now we are going to use, now we are using the Appium version 3. Okay, so what I will do, I want the session ID, but I will not use the future flag called session discovery. So what will happen, we'll see. Okay, so we'll see the difference here. If without future flag or with future flag, we see both. Okay, so open the command prompt. Okay, and I start the Appium server without any flag here. Okay, so click on enter. That is a discovery underscore flag, and I started here. So my Appium server is started, and you see the version is 3.0.0.rc.1. Okay, and now I'll open the, I have a script here. Already I make a script. Okay, so in this script, what it will do, it will just open the script and get the session ID. Okay, just open the WIDO demo app and get the session ID. Okay, simple script it is. To demonstrate that we can able to use this session ID in our client called Appium inspector. Okay, so go back here. So before that one, I paused the video so that I can open the Android emulator. So I have opened the Android emulator here. So I have a script ready with me, and the Pixel 9. Okay. So what I have started the Appium server 3 without any flag here. Okay, you see the Appium server I started is without any flag. Open this one. Okay, without any flag. Now I run the script. And here we have the Appium inspector opened here. So we don't have any attached session. Okay. Now I run this script. This is a simple script just to get the session ID, to print the session ID. Okay, that's it. So that you can match the session ID in our Appium inspector. This it has to print the session ID. Yes. So it has just print the session ID here. And I want to reuse the session ID in my Appium inspector. It has to open the WDIO app. Okay. So it has to print the session ID. It's simple. Okay. So the session ID is, you can see the last digit is CC7ED. Okay. This is session ID. Okay. Now I'll go to the Appium inspector here. Okay. So I not got any session ID here. So I just go to the different tab and I get back to the Appium session ID. You see the session ID is not came here. Means the session ID is drop down. See, if you have already running session of the above server type, you can attach the inspector directly. Okay, select the session ID in the drop down below. See, but it is not displayed. The session ID what we have created, it has not came here. But in Appium 2, that is the 2.19% below version, we used to get automatically. So if you watch this video, right? So how to fetch this session ID? So automatically we used to get this session ID. Okay, just I'll show the screenshot here. You see, like this we used to get. Okay, but when you when you are working with the Appium 3, we need to start the Appium server explicitly with the session underscore discovery flag. Okay, so now we have started the Appium server without any flag. Okay, see, we started the Appium server without any flag. Now I will attach this flag here. Okay, so stop this Appium server. The control C. Okay, my Appium server is stopped now. Now I will use Appium -allow insecure. So insecure colon equal to, as you know it, when you're in Appium 3, when you're using this argument allow insecure, we need to provide a driver, that is automation name or asterisk mark. Okay, already I have discussed this thing in the breaking changes 1. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, now the same thing I had to use here when I starting the Appium server. So what I will do, I'll just use the asterisk mark here, colon, I had to use session discovery. That's it. So I'm starting the Appium server with allow insecure argument, and I have provided the asterisk mark colon session discovery. Okay, when I start this Appium server with this flag, I need to get the session ID in my client, that is the Appium inspector here. Okay, so means I need to once again run the code because I need to get new session ID because I started the Appium server once again. Okay, that's the previous session ID will be stopped, it will be killed. Okay, now once again you go to the script and just place this one and go to this one, and here also one just close this app. So if you see under the Appium inspector, the drop down, the session ID has to come. Okay, previously it is not displayed in the drop down. Why? Because we not use the session underscore discovery in the Appium 3. This is mandatory in Appium 3. Okay, now we run it once again. And we have started the Appium server with this session discovery feature. Okay, now run it. So just it has to open the WDI demo app and get the session ID. That's it. Simple code functionality we are using. So that we are working on session ID, right? Now the session ID is generated and it is printed. See, the last file is C5C02. Okay. Now this session has to appear in the drop down. Okay. Not appear, right? Just click on refresh. See, this is what I am saying. But this is the what. See, it's a C. If you see that it printed, right? See console. The session ID is 21C5C02. Okay, and it has given the Pixel 9, Android, UI Automator 2 and the package name. Okay, previously when I run this Appium without this flag, the session ID is not appeared. Okay, in our client called Appium inspector. Okay, But if you want this session ID to be reused, okay, then we need to start the Appium server explicitly with the flag, with the feature called session discovery. Feature flag we should activate. Okay, that is by using the argument called allow insecure. Okay, now allow insecure also we have done the changes in the Appium 3. That is the we had to use the asterisk mark or automation name we need to provide here. So if you see here, see I started the Appium server with allow insecure and asterisk mark colon session discovery I am using here. Okay, so this is the change in the Appium 3. Suppose you want to use any session ID, before you want to reuse any session ID in our client, that is example the Appium inspector, we need to start the Appium server with the flag, feature flag called session discovery, so that we can get the session details in our client, that is a Appium inspector. So this is the change is being implemented in the breaking change, that is 2 in the Appium 3 beta version. Okay, this is all about the breaking change 2 in the Appium 3 beta version. If you like this video, please click on like button. Thanks for watching, and you can watch my work. All this is given in the GitHub. Okay, and you can watch my go through my blogger, okay, where I have discussed all the videos and all the content here, and you can find my Medium also, okay, where you can find the article. So you can find my articles in the Medium at the rate of Appium guide. Okay, so here you can see whatever I am discussing in the video, the same thing available in the article in the Medium. Okay, so I have blogger also. You can just go through my blogger. Okay, that is the Appium guide by Kodmu Ramesh. Here also you can find whatever I have discussing as a video and article, both will be appear in my blog. Okay, so if you like this video, please click on like button, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.